Hi, all. So I had a Halloween costume picked out, and I think there was a mistake because what arrived wasn't what I had wanted to wear. But I kind of needed a costume, just for the Halloween spirit, right? So, like you're not allowed to make fun of me for what I'm wearing, okay? Okay, we confirmed. We confirmed that everybody's going to be chill when they see my Halloween costume. It wasn't the one I wanted, but it's what I got sent. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I ended up in this somehow, but it fits, I guess, for the most part. It meets my colors, so that's nice. Oh no, I froze. Why'd I freeze? What's happening? Oh, head pants, head pants, head pants. I mean, like, it's not too bad. I mean, it's got like, well, let me shrink down a little bit. Shrink down further. Got little frillies and stuff, and it's kind of cute. I mean, like, it could be worse, right? It could be a lot worse. So, yeah. Do I feel bonita? I mean,
Gene, do you feel bonita?
I feel bonita. I feel bonita. Why are you immediately bonking me? Oh, let me fix this real quick. Give me a second. If we can refund, that would be greatly appreciated because, of course, TITS does not want to work right away. Give me a second while I get it working. Thank you. Thank you for the, really? Really? You're gonna put me in this outfit and make me do this voice? Really? That doesn't feel fair. I mean... it's not even on me yet. Give me a second. No! It's not even calibrated right. Why are you being so mean to me? Thank you for the follow. Okay, there we go. There, now it's gonna follow me properly. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to make it not work, but it should work now, okay? Give the voidlings what they want. They want me to be like this. I'm not a femboy. I'm just a normal guy. I'm an adult man who ate chicken nuggies for dinner because I'm an adult man. Okay, just let me be. Let me be. I'm alpha. Look how alpha I am. Look how alpha I am. How long do I have to maintain this voice? And I gotta move this voice now with Southern voice, and I don't know if I could do this one. Chad, I don't think these two match too well. What do you think? Do you think I can move these two together? Or is that not working? You nuggies? No, I offered you nuggies. I got the dino nuggies. And we can go to normal Southern now. Perfect. All right. Hello, everybody. It's lovely to see you. Now, of course, we got all the things we gotta do. Ignore my outfit. Look, it works. It fits me, so deal with it. All right. Southern Voice Redeem, we're gonna go do our normal starting thing. Let me go first off. Thank you, all you brand new followers. I'm taking a look right here. And since last stream, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 brand new followers. You got that? I mean, that's amazing. I really appreciate all of you. Welcome to the menagerie. And welcome, my little voidies. My voidlands. All right, so next. First off, thank you for getting first, Silver Fang Rose. Welcome. Thank you for getting second, Catherine. And who got third? Dwarf, sweetie. Always good to see you. Thank you for getting third. And of course, as we do every stream, I'm going to be saying hi to every peeking. I'm peeking? What do you mean peeking? What do you mean peeking? Am I peeking? Am I making... Oh, views. I thought you meant my audio. Girl, you got me scared. I mean, everybody here is just being like, oh, Gene, you're peeking. Like, no, my mic is fine. My mic is beautiful. Let me have my beautiful mic. Anyway, sorry. So, of course, we got to say hello to everybody who checked in. So give me a little bit to go through every single one of these. All right. First, we got Hello, Silverfang. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, Carmia. And to you, Dwarf. And happy Halloween to you, Zombie and Neeks and Sif. Happy Halloween to you, Allie and Lyra and Kitty Lovin'. Happy Halloween to you, Pink. Love you, bro. Happy Halloween to Paranormal and Gubba Milk and Meow Kitty Cat. And happy Halloween to Goldie and Shasha and Lilith. Happy Halloween to Shay. And don't hit me with a banana. Echo. And to you, Yoshiko, Ocean, and Luna. And to you, Anna, and Gift to Venus, and M31. And happy Halloween to you, Pandragon, and Nerdy Fandom, Full Metal Brookie. And now we got, who else we got? Thank you for the follow, Julius. Welcome. Hope you enjoy your time here. Happy Halloween to you, Princess and Rat Toucher. Happy Halloween to you, Willie, Wild Kitten, and Julius, or Julia Silas. Julius. Happy Halloween to you, N3 and Misty. And to you, Onyx, and Crucified, and Honeydew, and Itzel-chan, and Wolfie, and to you, Yukiko, and to you, Sinful, and to you, Macaroni. There we go. Happy Halloween to everybody. Now, first off, you scared of potassium? I'm not. I'm a little scared of potassium, actually. Spooky bananas. That's why my legs keep cramping up. Oh, and hi, Venus. How you doing, sweetie? Okay. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. First off, what are you all doing here? Don't you have like Halloween plans? Like, were you all doing something? Like, I mean, I don't want to like steal y'all. Like, I'm happy to have y'all check in. But oh, I don't know why, Vanya. I'll have to figure that out later. But I'm happy you are here, Vanya. My kids are sick. Oh my goodness. Hi, hello, Queen. It's 7 p.m. Fair. Well, I'm happy to have all of you here with me on Halloween. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna read some stories. Maybe do some poetry. Maybe play a horror game, but I don't know. I know that horror really isn't most of this community's vibe. Like, I like horror fine, but I really like y'all a lot more. And if horror's really not the favorite, then, like, I'll do it only on certain days. And Halloween's a holiday, and it's important to celebrate holidays with all of you. You are the most important people to me right now when it comes to celebrating holidays. So I want to make sure to have everybody here. You're never too old for Halloween. Look at me, I'm wearing a costume. And it's a costume. This is not going to be a normal outfit. I will not be wearing this past Halloween. So if you like this outfit, get used to it, okay? Oh. All right, don't get used to it. Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it. Do not get used to it. I'm not gambling on this. No. I have standards. Can we see the bottom? Okay. Are you asking to see my bottom? Are you asking to see my... Chat, you can't ask to see my bottom. What do you... No, you're not allowed to see my bottom. That's against Twitch regulations. How... Awful. No, don't show me your bottom. I don't want to see yours. I should have worn the tail today, but I don't have the tail attached. I could attach the tail. So here's the bottom. Unfortunately, I only have regular legs underneath here. But you know what? Can I find my tail? No, that's the... Okay, wait. I'm gonna see if I can find my tail real quick. Where is my tail? Do. That's a cat tail. We're not a cat. There it is. All right, you ready? We'll shrink it down a little bit. And we'll rotate it. Don't rotate me. Rotate the tail. Not the outfit either. There we go. Tail. Rotate. And attach. There you go. Happy? You happy? I guess it should be a little lower, shouldn't it? There we are. All right. Just for today. But I like when it's big because then you can see it when I'm at different angles. Anyways. Oh. Perfect. Okay, so. What are we doing? I got distracted. Feather duster tail. I know, isn't it cute? Don't worry, we're going to have a better tail on the new model eventually. If you haven't seen the design yet, too bad you don't get to see it. It's a secret. I don't like the tail. It's distracting me. I can't focus. I can't focus on the tail. We will have a better tail on the new design. We've already talked to two designers. We have the live 2D artist, and we have the 3D artist. So there's going to be two kinds of streams moving forward after that point. We'll have standard gaming streams with me, LuckyJene, the creator. And then you'll have lore streams, where I will continue telling the story of LuckyJene in 3D with acting and everything. Kaida Cat is not my artist. Kaida does 3D. And I might commission them for a VR chat model. But the two models are going to be used in certain scenarios. It's going to be very, very cool. It is very, very expensive. So once we maintain a month of 50 viewer average, hey, thank you for the head pats. That is when we're doing the fundraiser. Okay, we're getting close. We're almost there. But yes, ow, and thank you for the biddies. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. What if you explode tonight? Not allowed. Exploding is illegal. It's a crime. Do you not know how crime exploding is? Thank you. I said thank you for the biddies. Thank you, YB, for the biddies. Ow! Stop combusting. Now. Time, where do you want to start? Oh, and by the way, Discord change will be happening tonight. So if you do not have in your settings for your iPhone the setting turned on to allow 18 plus servers, you will not be able to join. We'll be using a different method going forward, but this is what we'll be using as of tonight. Okay? Okay. Yes. Now. Woof, 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 woof. Okay. My brain is gone. My brain is completely gone. Chat, help me fix myself right now. What are we doing? What needs to be done? What am I missing? Read things. Read things. Right. Okay. Should we read things? Read things first? Whoop. Okay. Let's get us a spooky poem. Pretty boy. I am. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for the lurk. Okay. I have Halloween poems. Let's see which one I want to read. No thoughts. Thank you. I also love the costume. Reading is hard, okay? Reading is so hard. Now we could do poetry or we could do a short story. Which do you prefer? Or we could go old school and go creepypasta. Ways to snatch it is. I found you being kidnapped by TikTok, as you should. Ooh, thank you so much for the Wadeem, even if I hate that one. The witch has told you a story. You ready? Thank you. Oh my God, Vanya, you're the best. You're so good. Vanya, you're so cool. Pin it. Yes. This is why I love Vanya. Okay, are you ready? The witch has told you a story. You are food. You are here for me to eat, fatten up, and I will like you better. Your brother will be first. You must wait your turn. Feed him yourself. You will learn to do it. You will take him. Eggs with yellow sauce, muffins, torn apart and leaking butter, fried meats late in the morning, and always sweets. In a sticky parade from the kitchen. His vigilance an ice pick of hunger, breaking his insides will melt. And the uncottis cream fillings he will forget, he will thank you. For it, his little finger, stuck every day, through cracks in the bars, will grow slick and round. His hollow face will swell. Like the moon, he will stop dreaming about fear in the woods without food. He will lean towards the maw of the oven as it opens, every afternoon sighing better and better smells. Interesting. Okay, fun. Mm-hmm. I want something more creepy, though. What do we have, like, a very creepy poem? How about Jinn? Ghost Prisoner? Okay, here we go. You got this. The ghost prisoner, a murderer, wishes he was invisible, sheer air. Already dead, his narrow bed washes him away to the dream escape. Through holy gaps that open, in the grin of his small son, lost teeth offer him a freedom so absurd he wakes and laughs. This doesn't feel like a poem. I don't like that one. I already immediately don't like that one. I should have read through these beforehand. Chat, I am sorry. Instead, we're going to go with Edgar Allan Poe because Edgar Allan Poe never disappoints me. Good old Edgar Allan Poe. And you know what? That means we have to do. Prepare for the stream? Prepare for a stream? Never! I refuse. I'm glad you like my potential redeems. Okay, here we go. True. Nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous. I had been and am, but why will you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in heaven and in earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken and observe how healthy and how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object there was none, passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing, but you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him, and every night about midnight I turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh, so gently. And then, when I made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern, all closed, so that no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it slowly, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening, so far that I could see him as he lay upon his bed. Would a mad man have been so wise as this? Then when my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern. Cautiously. Oh, so cautiously. Cautiously, for the hinges creak. I undid it just so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye, and this I did for 7 long nights. Every night, just at midnight, but I found the eye was always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work, for it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he had passed the night. So you see, he would have been a very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute's hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph to think that there I was, opening the door, little by little, and he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly as if startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch with the thick darkness, for the shutters were closed, fastened through fear of robbers, and so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily, steadily. I had my head in and was about to open the lantern when the thumb slipped upon the tin fastening and the old man sprang up in his bed, crying out, "Who's there?" I kept quiet, still, said nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle, and in the meantime I did not hear him lie down. He was still, sitting up in the bed, listening, just as I have done, night after night, hearkening to the death watches in the wall. Presently, I heard a slight groan, and I knew it was the groan of mortal terror. It was not the groan of pain or of grief. Oh, no. It was a low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew the sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it has welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo the terrors that distracted me. I say I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt and pitied him, although I chuckled at heart. I knew that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise when he had turned in the bed. Hello, everybody. His fears had been ever since growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them causeless, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It's nothing but the wind in the chimney. It's only a mouse crossing the floor." Or, "It's merely a cricket which has made a single chirp." Yes, he has been trying to comfort himself with these suspicions, but he had found all in vain. All in vain. Because death, in approaching him, had stalked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim. And it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he neither saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lying down, I resolved to open a little. A very, very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length a single dim ray, like the thread of a spider, shot from out the crevice and fell upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctiveness, all dull blue with a hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrow in my bones, but I could see nothing else of the old man's face or person, for I directed the ray, as if by instinct, precisely upon the damned spot. Now, have I not told you that what you mistake for madness is but over-acuteness of the senses? Now I say, there came to my ears a lull, a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch's makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well, too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury, as the beating of the drum stimulates the soldier into courage. But even yet I refrained and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless, tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker and louder every instant. The old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say, louder every moment. Do you mark me well? I have told you that I'm nervous. So I am. And now at the dead hour of night, amid the dreadful silence of that old house, so strange a noise as this excited me to uncontrollable terror. Yet, for some minutes longer, I refrained and stood still. But the beating grew louder. I thought the heart must burst, and now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leapt into the room. He shrieked once only. In an instant, I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. I then smiled gaily to find the deed so far done, but for many minutes the heart beat on, with muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. It would not be heard through the wall. At length, it ceased. The old man was dead. I removed the bed, examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart, held it there many minutes. There was no pulsation. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If still you think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned, and I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head, and the arms, and the legs, and then I took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber, and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the boards so cleanly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatever. I had been too wary for that. A tub had caught all. And when I had made an end of these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went down to open it, with a light heart, for what I had now to fear. There entered 3 men who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by the neighbor during the night. Suspicious of foul play had been aroused, and information had been lodged at the police's office. And they, the officers, had been deputed to search the premise. I smiled, for what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman in. Welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own in a dream. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house, bade them search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed them his treasures, secure, undisturbed. In the enthusiasm of my confidence, I brought chairs into the room, and desired them here to rest for their fatigues, while I myself, in wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chattered of familiar things. But ere long I felt myself getting pale, and wished them gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But still they sat and still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued and became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued and gained definitiveness, until at length I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt I grew very pale, but I talked more fluently, with a heightened voice. Yet the sound increased, and what could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, much like the sound a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath, and yet the officers heard it not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noises steadily increased. I arose and argued about trifles in high key with violent gesticulations, but the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observation of the men, but the noise steadily increased. Oh God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I'd been sitting and grated upon the boards, but the noises arose over all and continually increased. It grew louder and louder and louder, and still the men chatted pleasantly and smiled. Was it possible they heard not? Almighty God, no. No, they heard, they suspected, they knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. This I thought, this I think, but anything was better than this agony. Anything was more tolerable than this derision. I could bear those hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die. And now again, hark, louder, 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 louder. Villains, I shrieked. Dissemble no more. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks. Here. Here. It is the beating of his hideous heart. And there you go, the telltale heart. That one's fun. Also, hello for everybody who came in. We're reading some horror stuff. It was a lot of fun. And we're going to probably play a little games. And I remember this from middle school. Wasn't it such a good story in middle school? I mean, Edgar... Oh, thank you for the head pats. Edgar Allan Poe, I first discovered when I was in middle school. Maybe even elementary school. And it came up in like a collection of stories. And it stuck with me. I mean, it was one of the first little dives I got into darker reading, because I guess in middle school, they're like, ow! They're like, no, this is normal. This is fine. Kids can handle this. They don't realize how dark some of his stuff gets. And he's referenced in so much media. And without him, we would have almost none of the stories we have today. Heck, I would not exist, like I do today without Edgar Allan Poe. So go thank EAP for, why are you hitting me? And thank you for the subscription. Hey! Thank you for the sub. It's greatly appreciated. But yes, hello. And for everybody that I've missed, I do apologize. Let me go read over these real quick. Hello, Tequila Sunshine. Welcome. Hello, Kira. Thank you for the resub, Honeydew. Thank you. Addie, thank you for checking in. Maple Donut, how dare you bonk me? Spell, thank you for checking in. And I think I already said Maple Donut, thank you. There you go. Let me go cry. Now, why are you crying? Don't you cry. No crying. Do I have more candy? Hey, I do have more candy. If you don't have candy, go get yourself some. Maid Sama? What do you... Shout it to me, I'm a maid. This is my maid outfit, my maid voice. This is the voice I'm going to do from now. I couldn't maintain it. Oh, was it just scary stories to tell in the dark? Oh, yeah. You want to do scary stories to tell in the dark? You have to cry? Why are you crying? Don't cry. Thank you for the the subscription. Hey, thank you for the subscription. What the heck? I'm such a good doggy. There you go. Oh man, the art in this book was so scary. I don't know who drew all the art for the book, but it was awful. There are 2 subs? I already thanked for Warbia. So thank you for the sub, Warbia. Happy Halloween, Eddie. Okay. We're going to play it out. We're going to go for the whole thing. What's unwise? Wait. You're listening to me in public? On your phone? How in public are you? Harlequin, how in public are you? Hi, Train Woo! What the heck? Hey, thank you for the gifted! Greatly appreciated. I have not watched the movie from Scary Stories. Is it any good? You ready, Harlequin? Hey, everybody, the person on this phone is watching Hot Anime Boys. They're looking at Hot Anime Boys on their phone. Come laugh at them. There you go. Thank you, Pan. What the heck? Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's true. Hot Anime Boys. Hot Anime Boys in maid dresses, by the way. We got to make sure that they understand. Bits! Hey, thank you! This is a good Halloween. I'm at work? Fair. Tell all your coworkers to come watch the Anime Boy anime. Why was that bear so big? What the heck? Exclamation point Discord. Thank you for the sub, Vanya. Thank you. Gotta pay me for that one. Bears are typically big. You know what? You're right. Okay, give me a second. Oh, okay. I do use tits. I do use tits. Chat, do you like my tits? Like, all you have to do is hit a button, and it does tits. It's so cool. Yeah, I got my tits out. Twitch integrated throwing system. What are you eating? Kit Kat bar. It's Halloween. I have Halloween candy. It's so good. Ah! No! Ow! Help! Wait, It's not fair. I don't want to be your size. Why am I your height again? Okay. We're gonna see if I can will myself to grow again. And I don't know why you all don't just do this. You can just be like, perfect. See? Easy. Magic. Here, Vanya. Just for you. Okay? There. I mean, you can always untime them out if you'd like, but there we go. I defend your honor. I got rid of him. How tall are you? 6'4". I'm late. I never got around to joining the Discord. The Discord will be changing as of tonight, so get ready for that. But yeah, feel free to untime out Leon if you'd like. Or don't. Your choice, mods. The day you can knock... Ow! No, it's not. Leon, come back. I don't like you. There we go. See? You told me to do something. Stop aiming a gun at me. Venus, what does that mean? Bits, thank you for the bits. Thank you, Lilith, for the 100 bits. And thank you, Warpio, for the 100 bits. I promise to fix the bit. Aha. I promise to fix the bit stream alert. Promise. Short people aren't clumsy. They're so compact, it's harder for them to fall. Y'all have better balance because you're so close to the ground and it doesn't hurt. No, but I will fix it today. Because things change, Sakona. Yeah, see, you're all so close to the ground that you're so compact that you don't fall. But big people, my limbs are all over the place.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do about my stunner, You wanna fight? You wanna go? I'll take you out to the swamp. I'll make you sink. Make Miss Piggy eat you.
Yes, exactly, because of your fat ass. I mean, ruff, what? Sorry. Huh? PHAT, the good kind. No, Katamia, don't go. Please, no. I have to bark. If I swear I bark. I'm trying to cut. No! What the heck? What are you giving? Hey, what? I'm not even doing anything worth. Okay, we're gonna. Y'all have given me so many bits and subs tonight. What is going on? I appreciate it. But hey, thank you. I'm kidding, Katamia. Katamia, you are very gorgeous. And you have a nice butt. I assume. I've never seen it. Chat, all of you have amazing butt. Get yourself some going worms, bro boy. I want to. Oh my, no, can I complain? We're complaining. It's complaining time, chat. Listen to me. Listen. Stop reading chat. This is important. I have to complain. Okay, so. I came home. I did not come home. I've been home all day. I lied immediately, not intentionally. I hear a knock at my door. It goes, I don't have anything to knock on. Why don't I have anything to knock on? What the heck? Aha! Okay, I hear a knock at my door. And I immediately go rushing to my door because I know I ordered stuff from Amazon. My allergy meds showed up. My multivitamin showed up. My pack of ramen showed up. And then another package that was completely flat. And so I'm looking at this package being like, how is it completely flat? What would I have ever ordered in my entire life that is completely flat. And I open it, and there's nothing inside of it. And I remembered I had ordered gummy worms too. And I look at the left side of the package, and none of the glue had sealed on the package on the left side. So they had this package that wasn't sealed. And so I got no gummy worms, which was going to be my little Halloween-y treat. Now, I do have box wine, and I've had a little chocolate, and I've had my screwdriver. But no, nobody stole it. Legitimately, I can tell that the package wasn't like, it was like faulty. And so they fell out. Now I'm getting a new one, it's getting sent, but it just means I don't get it today. Because if they would have stolen it, they would have taken the package. They wouldn't have ripped perfectly between the two things. I like gummy things. Hey, what is wrong with liking gummy things? Gummy things are my favorite candy, okay? I like chewy things, I like fruity things, I like sour things. I know they're all bad for my teeth, but why am I being judged? Why? Why am I being judged for my love of gummy things? Chocolate sucks, it's boring and lame, okay? I said it. Suddenly I'm gummy and fruity. Hey, yo. Now, I did very specifically buy Jell-O, and I'm going to buy gelatin so I can start making my own gummy bears and then just like infuse them with legal things and well, I mean, all of it's legal, but you know, some of it's going to be like vitamin infusions and the other stuff's going to be cannabis infusions. But yeah, I'm going to make my own gummy bears and I'm super excited because I am very picky about gummy. I can talk to you about how picky I am about gummy bears. Do you want to know about how picky I am about gummy bears? It has made, there is a right gummy bear consistency. There's a right gummy bear consistency. I'd say there's a few different ones that you can do, but they need to have a chew, a bite, a bounce. One of the ideal ones is Haribo gummy bears or golden bears. Ideal. All of, fine. So the ideal texture of the gummy bears, Haribo has this on lock. They're fantastic. I mean, they're honestly some of the best textures out of all the gummy bears. Taste is pretty good. But it's not the best. The ideal texture for me right now is going to be the sour and sweet snakes that you get from Haribo. They stick them together. No. But like, if they're a little bit warm. And I have good teeth. Well, I have pretty good teeth. Now, the ones that I hate are the super soft ones. The ones that, like, you bite in and there's no bounce back. Your teeth just go through them. They're almost Jell-O. It's like, what's the point of me having them? So, do we get gummy bears merch? I can't make merch of everything. Do you know what we heard about? Do you know what? Okay, so Vanya was talking to me the other day, and Vanya was like, no, share me with gummy bears, please. The best gummy bears are free gummy bears. And any gummies that you share with me are going to be better because I didn't pay for them, okay? Okay. So. Here is what Vanya said to me. Today, I think. Vanya said that I need to get gacha merch so that people can collect my merch and then have it high up. And I thought, like, you know what would be really cool? Imagine mini jeans. Hype came to me at level 5. That's so cool. I can't believe you got such a high hype train. Thank you, guys. So yeah, imagine little blind pack mini jeans. You have like femboy jean wearing like the maid outfit. You have Mpreg jean. You have the gummy bear jean. I mean, like, can you imagine all the different stuff that we could have? And then you could like buy gacha packs with the little jeans inside. Because I think it'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? We just need to figure out a way to make me like very like marketable in a tiny, very simple plush. Maybe like no facial features, just like 2 dots for the eyes and then the outfit. I think it'd be a good idea. Mpreg one. Now, the MP one is going to be very difficult to buy. It's going to be one of the ultra rares. I mean, once we get more established, I mean, we got to have a lot of fans for that one first. How long do I have to do this voice? Okay, a little bit longer. We're almost there. This is so good. This is so dangerous. I have a Smirnoff Ice screwdriver, zesty orange, which it is zesty. Yes, keychains. Keychains I would be nice. Guess, Neeks, what's up? What's your thought? look in makeup and fashion and tell Carmilla she's pretty. Carmilla's so pretty. I know Carmilla's pretty. I do want to see the picture anyways, but we're gonna give me a second here. She's a mushroom. What? So cool. Give me a second. Where is it? 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 Makeup and fashion. Damn, look at everybody. What the heck? Why is every... Ooh, very nice. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. What is... what the... Okay. 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 Damn. Y'all look amazing. Y'all look so freaking good. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I can't post myself, chat, because I'm a VTuber. I'm not legally allowed to. I'll post this outfit. All right, Onyx. Sleep well. Be good. Mwah. 1 second. I said I'm not posting anything, Vanya. You weren't listening. I said I can't because I'm a VTuber. There we go. That's okay. You're fine. You're fine, Vanya. You're totally fine. I feel better now. My sinuses are a little bit more clear. Okay, now that we've calmed down, more horror stories? Everybody want more horror stories? Here we're gonna do. We'll make a vote. More horror stories or just more chatting? Poll. Horror. Chat. More. All right, chat. Vote. I can't help pretty Carmilla. Carmilla is pretty. A lot of y'all are very pretty. Honestly, though, if you're in my community and you're active in it, it immediately makes you more attractive. I have proof. I have proof. Y'all, those who are most active here, gorgeous. Every single one of them. And I think it's not because I attract gorgeous people, but because being in my community makes you more attractive. I'm just saying. So... True. You are gorgeous. Hi. Well, let's see what the poll is. 10 votes for horror. Okay, let's go horror. Are you ready? Here we go. This is a stupid one. I'm just going to read the very first one. A boy was digging at the edge of the garden when he saw a big toe. He tried to pick it up, but it was stuck to something. So he gave it a good, hard jerk, and it came off in his hand. Then he heard something groan and scamper away. The boy took the toe into the kitchen and showed it to his mother. It looks nice and plump, she said. I'll put it in the soup and we'll have it for supper. Then that night, his father carved the toe into 3 pieces, and they ate it each. They each had a piece. They did the dishes, and when it got dark, they went to bed. The boy fell asleep almost at once, but in the middle of the night, a sound awakened him. It was something out in the street. It was a voice. It was calling to him. Where's my toe? It groaned. When the boy heard that, he got very scared, but he thought, it doesn't know where I am. It'll never find me. Then he heard the voice once more, only now it was closer. Where's my toe? It groaned. The boy pulled the blanket over his head and closed his eyes. I'll go to sleep, he thought. When I wake up, it'll be gone. But soon he heard the back door open, and again he heard the voice. Where's my toe? It groaned. Then the boy heard footsteps moving through the kitchen, into the dining room, into the living room, into the front hall. Then slowly they climbed the stairs. Closer and closer they came. Soon they were in the upstairs hall. Now they're outside his door. Where's my toe? The voice groaned. Then his door opened, shaking with fear. He listened as the footsteps slowly moved the dark toward his bed. And they stopped. Where's my toe? The voice groaned. You've got it. But I'm supposed to jump at you, but I actually can't do it. I like it. Bye. Good night. The house on Heckman's Hill. What's it about? Me, Ty Doty Walker. All right. Of course, you can hold anybody's hand. I'll hold your hand. As long as you're well behaved. You want a drinky? No. No, Vanya. No. No. You only have hard liquor. Hard liquor is not good for you. No hard liquor. Look at you being cute. Hello, raccoon enthusiast. We have a lot of raccoons here, surprisingly. Yeah, are you going to mix a single drink? Are you going to mix a single drink and not have any more than that? Or are you going to get drunk? Huh? Answer me. You know what we could play? No, I'm not a human, but it's a bit long. I need something good. Something good in horror. Or could just do Cult of the Lamb. I guess that's still spooky-ish. That one counts, doesn't it? Can I get a Halloween-themed drink? Absolutely. Mortuary assistant? I don't want to go full horror. I think Cult of the Lamb might be nice. We'll do Cult. Cult of the Lamb. Colty, 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 colty. Perfect. One second. Oh, I'm still here. What are you counting for? I said 1 second. You didn't have to do anything. Were you waiting for me to talk? Fine, you know what? If you all want to count, we're going to have to do a thing. Before we'll play Cult of the Lamb, you all need to be able to count to 10. Nobody can repeat a number. One person says 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. And you can't say a number right after another. Let's go. There's 1, there's 2. Let's go. 1, 2, what do we got? 3. Perfect. You're doing amazing. Come on, you can do it. First try. Let's go. Ah, nope, you repeated. Wow. Start over. Let's do it again. Start with 1. Let's go. Oh, nope. Already down. 1. Okay, 1. 2. Nope. Already duplicated. You got this, Chad. I believe in you. Let's see if we can manage. Let's see if we can manage to 6. Let's do 6, okay? Let's just do 6. You can do 6. You almost made it last time. 2, 3. Perfect. 4. Nope. Ah, got too excited. Come on. 1. 2. Nope. Oh, so close. 1. 2. 3. Ah. You know what? We'll try one more time. We'll try one more time. You got this. I believe in you. Come on. Start with 1. 3. 4. Well, you all made it to 4. I'm proud of you all. Made it the first time to 5. So I don't know if you're going to be able to do better than that, but you tried. And so I'm proud of you. You can't do it. I mean, there's a lot of you here. Don't hit me. All right, let me adjust the screen real quick. Okay, I'm going to try something, but hopefully it doesn't break, okay? Hopefully this doesn't break. It worked! I can't believe it worked! Okay. Amazing. Oh, hello, sister. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here. That's my son. Who's jumping on mushrooms? What? What mushroom jumping? There we go. Okay. Hey, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Akechi? Jump on. Excuse me? Oh, category and overlay. Yeah. Cold of the lamb. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. All right. We'll do a little. Should we gamble? How about we gamble? We do a little gambles. Just a little gamble, okay? Just this one time. And if you all beat me, maybe I'll make the maid dress a possible redeem. But you have to win 2 out of 3. But I need a good reward. So what is a good reward for Gene? What is a good reward for Gene? Oh, I need to do the thing. Connect the game. Authorize. All right, we're good. At 200,000 points? You know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll set it 200,000 points. All right. I don't know. Oh, wait. Do I have to leave first? Wait. Is the Twitch not working? You'll see, Macaroni. You'll see. Hey, people call me Janae. Tell me how to pronounce your name. Walk me through it. It has too many letters, and I cannot understand any of them. None of them make sense in my head next to each other. People call me Janae. Or Genie. Or, not Genie, but Oh. Why can't I do this? What's going on? Huh? What are you spilling? Funny, what are you talking about? I'm getting ready for work tonight, going to as Emily from Corpse Ride. Very nice. Congrats. Da-da-da. Just keep yapping? Bet. I will continue talking. Okay, we're here now. Everything's fine. Twitch integration should be working, right? Yep, Twitch integration is there. Look at everybody who's here. Everything's perfect. Everything's flawless. Everything is wonderful. We're doing amazing. Okay. Now we're gonna let everybody sleep while I clean here. I gotta go find out where you've all pooped, because I know you've pooped somewhere that I can't see. Wait. I'm in your ear while you're trick-or-treating. Hey, chat. Can I get a quick little, like, poll idea? How many of you are... What? What is this? How many of you are currently wearing headphones? And how many of you are coming at me right now without any sort of protection from the wild? Penitence mode? What the heck? You got me on speaker? Ooh, okay, maybe I'll behave myself. I was gonna be mean. But you know what? Maybe I can be a little behaved. How many of you live with parents? Really? No, I'll behave myself. I'll be nice. Anyway, sorry, what were we doing? Let's see. Do I want tithe? What do I want? We have no money ever. Do I want to extort people or do I want to bribe them? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. My mother told me to pick I want to bribe you. Makes it a lot easier. 'Cause I'm not gonna feed you, so I might as well give you money, right? It's the easiest way to do things. If I moan, they'll try to best it. Did they try to beat me? Give me their phone number right now. I'll call them and do work. I'm kidding. I would not do that. Vanya would have my head. I made a joke, Vanya. I know you'd have my head. Did I ever tell y'all when I set my name in Tarkov as my phone number? But I got a Google phone number, so it's fine. I probably did Siege too. I think I did both. I didn't really like Tarkov much. All right, we're good. See, now you've all been fed a little bit. You're all happy. You worry me? Oh, yeah, I worry me too. It's probably a good thing that you're worried. So if it was only me, we'd probably have a problem. One of us should be worried. Okay, we're gonna build another stone building. We're gonna build another wood building. Oh, that's great. That's great. Maybe don't do that. Wait, how do I need to pick one of those up. Was she on a FaceTime call? Was she on a FaceTime call? Oh no. Well. That's one way to get exposed. Chat, look how smart I am. Look how smart I am. You see what I'm doing here? So now, I'll probably get rid of these two bushes down here. Addy happy? Addy is happy farming. That checks out. And lastly, we're gonna do this here. Oh, right. Can I, if I edit this building, will it just break it or can I move it? That should work. Don't worry. I'll probably run another raffle in a second. I just need to go feed everybody real quick. Then I need money. There's too many of you to properly feed, but you know, this'll do. There we go. Fine. I'm gonna send somebody out. What's up? Let's make Savvy Addy eat poop. No, we're not making Addy eat poop. That'd be so mean. If you can't take care of your... Well, Mom. I'm sorry. Hey, Vanya, what was supposed to be the reward, like, art reward for hitting 2K, by the way? All right, chat, it's time. It's gamble time with the overlay. You ready? Yes, you should. Here's how to play. Read it real quick. Learn. All right, let's go. Okay, so on your mobile, you have to go to the Discord website. You have to go in your browser. You have to use your Discord browser on your phone. Which is what the instructions say. By the way. But you have to use the browser. Like, you have to go to Chrome on your phone to do it. The app will not function to turn it on. All right. Let's go. Okay. Well, if you don't turn it on, you will be kicked from the Discord. Not by choice, but because that's the way it works. Android's fine. iPhone is not. No, Neeks. iPhone can go to the browser. I tested this. iPhone can go to the browser, go to discord.com on the browser, and change the setting there. They do not need to do it on PC. Yes, Safari or Chrome. This is why I said I would test this, what we talked about last time, and why it is in the instructions on Discord. How dare you, chat? How dare you? I gave you all the shoes. You chose not to use them. It's fine. I appreciate these. Love it. Actually, I do love that. Don't lurk, Neek. Stay. I need you to stay. Yes. If you use iOS or iPhone, it's for iPhone. It is specifically for iPhone. Hey, Nap, can you tell me the thing? Lunar, this is what we're talking about. That verification method is going to go away tonight. We will soon be using Discord's age verification. If you have iPhone, you will need to do it through this, through the browser. Get wrecked, nerds. In announcements, in the Discord server, we are changing verification. Go read announcements. I'm not saying anymore. There we go. I can't do that right now. Come on. Okay. Remember, it's best to have two to three. So, hello everybody. Well, I'm going to say this one last time to everybody. If everybody better be listening. Everybody listen right now. If you would like to access the Discord server, it is becoming an 18+ server through Discord. Discord's age verification works for Android and PC no problem. But due to iPhone regulations or Apple regulations, it will not allow you to enter age-restricted servers. The only way to fix this is by going onto your browser, either on phone or on PC, going to discord.com, signing in there, and turning on allowing age-restricted servers on iPhone in settings there. If you do not have an iPhone, this does not matter. If you would like to play the Gamble game is a overlay on your screen right now. It should be probably in the top right corner. There's a little circle you can click, and you can join in with the Cult of the Lamb stuff. Everyone good? Now, here we go. It's nothing to be sorry for. I just wanted to make sure everybody understands. I feel like nobody listened to half of it and then they asked halfway through for instructions again when it has been posted. Okay, to explain this game. If you have dices on your side that match, you double the points. So 5 and 5 here is going to make 20. Because we have 1 point, we have 5 points, 5 points, and then they're going to add again. So you end up with 20. Now, if you have the same colored dice or the same number of dice on the other side, you'll delete the dice on my side. So for instance, you have a 2, I'm going to put a 2 here. It'll delete your die. 2. But if you put 6 on 6, which is the best option for you right now, you're going to duplicate that. So you're going to get 6, 6, 6, 6. 24. So my goal right now is going to be trying to get rid of your 6s because it's the highest you can go. And I can take care of that. And my hope is that you'll delete one of my 1s. I appreciate it. And I can delete your 6 here. You're doing great. So you can either get rid of my 6 or put it anywhere. And there you go. Well done. Now this row's very powerful. I have 5 3 times. So doubled. But the problem is, if you put a 5 in this row, I lose all my 5s and suddenly I don't have any numbers. Please don't take you away. I will not take you away. At least in the classroom, you can actually see the kids. No, come on. Ah, really? One more round. One more round. And it would have been great. I believe in you. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What the hey? What is that? I shouldn't have taught you how to play. Actually, chat, the way you win is by having the lowest numbers, so... You ever think of that one? Nice. All right. It's gonna suck. Let's not. It's not even gonna be higher. Three times is just 9. You'd still be higher. It's not worth it. Let's just delete your 1. Maybe I can get some. Maybe I'll get some more good spacing. Come on. Come on. Come on. Don't bully me. Why are you like this? 3. Ha ha! Get wrecked, nerds! Wow, a 30 stream streak. That's insane. All right. No, no, no. No, 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 no. We're gonna do this. Come on, come on. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Keep them numbers low. Oh, that's amazing. All right, give me something good. Give me something good. 2? 2, 2, 2. Put that thing in the middle. I dare you. I dare you. No. Give me a 2. 2. I don't want to delete your 2s. Let's duplicate what I got right now. Come on. No, that's a good thing. Get rid of that. Throw it away. You don't want it. You don't want it. You don't want it. Throw it in the void. Get rid of it. Ugh, come on. Yeah, da 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 da. Happy birthday to you. Hey, have a good one, Lunar. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, pretty kitty. Happy birthday to you. No! Come on. Something awful. Hate. Hate. Fine. 200,000. The maid outfit's going on 200,000. Fine. Fine. You get your stupid maid outfit. I hope you're happy. God. I'm gonna gamble this man for a little money. You gonna save it for the... Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy Halloween. Boys and girls of every age, would you like to see something strange? Come with us and... Oh, hey, Chad, did you know that once you hit 10,000 followers on TikTok, which I have done, you get special access to certain things? Meaning now, if I have a video... Well, I'm trying to get part of the Creator Fund. But if I get part of the Creator Fund, every video over a minute, guess what I get? I can get paid. I can get paid. Woo. It's been 11 days, by the way. 11 days is all it took for us to get 10,000 followers. We're doing so good. Doing so good. I'm so proud of us. Nah, people just like my voice. If I were to do this voice all the time and have no followers, they'd be like, oh, this guy's so dumb. I'd never want to talk to him. He's so stupid. And he smells like he doesn't wash. Just kidding. Boys and girls of Hurry, would you like to sing? Hey, Gene. Yes, Vanya? I decide my fate. Stinky, no you! God, really? Is this what I have to do now? Really? This is the voice you want? Why do you want this? Why do you want this? Okay. Decide my fate, apparently. Just finish it, try me, thanks. Okay. Give me some faith. Give me some faith. Let's see what he got. Why is the toilet so poopy? What do you get? What do we get? Okay, our goal right now is going to be to get some money. I want shepherd's pie. It'll be so good. Why have I not been given shepherd's pie? Why did I have to eat dino chicken nuggies for thing? Why did I have 3 tabs on my stream open? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, why did you? Never mind. That's so stupid. I'm dumb. I'm a virus. You'll never escape me. Our trick or tweet? Our twick or tweet? Wait, who wrote that? What's this our twick or tweet? No, I have dino nuggies. I'm fine. Thank you for contributing to the tunnel, by the way. Okay, we're back to this voice. I can't leave this voice. I got it. Still in it. Ow, that hurts so much. Damn, I'm doing so bad. Okay, there we go. What's this? What's the poll you're gonna make? Hey, thank you for the subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really much appreciated. It's always very much appreciated. I wonder how close we are to the poll thingy that I need to do. Chat, why are you losing faith? Stop losing faith, Jesus. Thank you for the follow, Cruels NX. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're stuck in this voice for just a little bit long. Oh, actually, the voice is over. Yay! I can be normal again. Gene is stink. I am not stink. Why are you so mean? No, no, Gene, no stink. I'm not stink. Rude. Can I be normal? Can I be normal? I'm sorry. I'm trying to be normal, but I guess I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kermie. I'll do better. You said I'm not normal. No, it's okay. I'll do better. I'll try. I don't want to be embarrassing. The why? What? Thank you for that, pet. No, I'm just messing with you. That's called acting. Love you all. Mwah. Carmia said I wasn't normal. And I try so hard. But I guess I'm just I thought you all liked me, but I guess, I mean... Yes. Yes, Carmia. I'm cute. Yay. I'll take cute. Cute's worth it. I'll take cute. I'm a freak. I'm a weirdo. I don't belong here. So wait.
Come on.
'Cause I'm a freak. I'm a weirdo. What the heck am I doing here? Love you, Vanya. Yes. Oh. We got a new follower for chat. Chat, you gotta vote. We'll have a poll when we get back so everybody can vote. I'm not stinky. Yay, I'm not stinky. See, chat. Chat. See. Somebody new. Ooh, what are you? Yes. They're liars? No, don't call them liars. They're good boys and girls. Mwah. Alright, it's time. How is LuckyJene not normal? He's incredible, possibly slimy, kidding, but amazing. Ah, thank you, Sarah. I need to fix that voice redeem, by the way. I need to make it so that it does 100 bits that it will do voice. This is cool, it's cool, it's cool. I should wear the maid dress more often. Ahaha, funny. He says I should never wear the maid dress ever again, right? Understood. Never wearing the maid dress ever again. you think I pull off the maid dress beautifully? I mean, you should see me pull. Anyways. Maid redeemed, but at what cost? I'm just messing with you. I appreciate you all. You all are so very sweet and kind and beautiful and amazing. But I know you all know that already. I kind of like what I have right now, though, but I guess this one's not bad. Did not know that you're all beautiful, kind, and amazing, that I love you all? How would you not know that? Shova. Silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. La da da da, la da da da. Oh. Oh, honey, sweetie, come here. Come here. Chat. Let me get rid of these arms real quick. You all are very incredible. Like, genuinely, I am so lucky to have such amazing members of my community. Just, seriously, like, you all are doing amazing. You're wonderful. You're just... I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for making streaming seem like a dream that can actually potentially happen. Y'all are just the best. All of you are amazing. Like, even new people. I'm not like, this is not exclusively to people who've been here for years and months and whatever. Not that we've been streaming for months, you know. Yeah. Thank you for the bits. Holy crap. Thank you all for the bits. Thank you. Kakashi, Sarah, Wifey. Thank you, Lilith Queen. And thank you so much, Sarah, again. I appreciate you all so very, very much. I can't believe we just did that. Aha! I did not give out candy for Halloween. I've just been hanging out and dressing up and being fun and having games and doing a ding and ding a 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 ding 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 ding. Oh, well, nap time. Feel free to, like, I mean... What's going on, nap time? You doing okay? Sorry it was so rough for you today. Hi, Yukiko. I already used my Prime sub this month where I do that. You'll come back. You don't have to use it right away. But, Chad, did you know that Amazon Prime gives you 1 free gift sub? Oh, in your head? Oh, I'm sorry, nap time. Well, I hope you know that I do appreciate you. Nap bumped head on plane, that makes sense. See? You're very loved. I'm eating peanut butter. Ow! Ow! Thank you for the gifts! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What the heck? All right. First, I need to feed everybody, so we're gonna figure out some food stuff. It's not my fault, y'all. It's like, I don't know. Why is Sakona leaving? No! Enjoy it. You are a Sour Patch Kid. All right, you ready, chat? If you'd like to be part of the cult, you can join now. So, feel free to join. It should be on the overlay. I believe in you, I believe in you, I believe in you. 5, 4, 3, 2. It's on the overlay. The overlay, you click on the top right corner. There should be a circle. Make a cultist. I haven't looked at it. There will be 2, though. So we'll do the first one now. Hey, Raccoon Enthusiast, congratulations. We'll do one more. All right. Feel free to join. Feel free to join. Five, 4, 3, 2. Karamia! Congratulations, Karamia! Well done, Yukiko. Look at you, naturally obedient. You can go worship. Why does Echo want to be sacrificed? I mean, okay, I guess. I'm sorry, Echo. Apparently I need to sacrifice you. Submissive Omega. Oh, Karamia. Oh, that's fair, that's fair. Well, beat them up then. I believe in you, you can do it. All right, here we go. So weird. Okay. Have y'all been feisty today? Is that what's happening? Oh, I didn't realize. Y'all have not been doing a good job. Might of devotion. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll make sure you have a bed. Da-da-da. Oh, sorry. Gotta do in the goddamn southern voice. There it is. My cat just sat from the monitor, completely blocking me. I think he's jealous. I get it. You're giving too much attention to the dog boy. Not that I'm not a dog. I ain't a dog. But if I was a dog. I can send some of you to heaven. Heck yeah. Fine. Ooh. Thank you so much for the redeem and the ada. You be a Rottweiler? I'm a mutt, if anything. I mean, why can't I be a German Shepherd? I can speak German pretty decently. You know. I'm a golden retriever. I'm a husky, if anything. All right, we got enough money. Give you a ton of spits. Roo-hoo-hooed. There we go. Color get happy and then sad. What do you mean? Do golden retrievers get sad? Penguin, you'll be fine. I'm doing the stuff. Do golden retrievers do that though? I guess I ain't know many golden retrievers. I suppose. You watch videos of golden retrievers being sad? That's such a weird thing to watch. Do you just enjoy bullying golden retrievers that much? Crazy. I know I gotta bully golden retrievers like that, but hey. Wow. Alright, we need to make some places for food, and I need to figure out a way to get seed a little bit faster. So first off, 2 more wood places. Always need them, always need them. 1, 2. Get myself a rock place. I got the money for it. Ain't never mindin'. Wow, Red Moon. Wow. Absolutely audacious of you. Wow. Coming in here like that. Gene, I hate you, and I don't want anything to do with you, is what I heard. Maybe we'll do a little grassy gruel or something. Not gonna make a deadly dish. Cook. There we go. Build a few beds. We need 3 more. Now build last bit of. Take some of you. You. Bye 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 bye. Okay, fine. I did sleep through the morning stream, and I do apologize for sleeping through the morning stream. It was not intentional. I know y'all know that, but still, I do feel guilty for doing that. we are. Alright, who do we have who's dead? Silver Vang, Gibbets. Gibbets is still dead. Gibbets, I'm sorry you're dead. I'm sorry, man, kitty. So I went to sleep at like late. I went to sleep really late because my sister called me and she needed me. She called me crying. And so I was like, hey, I gotta let me talk to you. Let's figure out what's going on. And then I went to sleep at like 12, which means I would have only had 3 hours of sleep, unfortunately. Yeah. There we are. Think of a stretch and the hydrate. Can I build another one of those little things? Let's see. We ain't need a farm stand, but I do need another one of these. There we are. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I know a lot of y'all don't sleep right at all, so that's fair. That should do what I need there. That means lastly, I can build the only other thing I need here, which I think I can stop being southern now. Is that an option? Yeah, there we go. Let's not be southern for a little bit. Hey, what are you doing out of bed? Go to bed. Trick-or-treaters? Oh yeah. Luckily I'm in an apartment, so I don't gotta worry about it. I'm sure the trick-or-treaters, they'll appreciate you so very, very much. And now, lastly, 2, 3, 1, 2. There we go. Y'all got good meats now. That's fair. I only sleep out 4 to 6 hours, most. Look at me, boy. Yeah. Look at you, God me up. Look at you obediently worshiping. Oh, such a good God me up. Who's a good God me up? Who's a good God me up? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because I think it's funny. I apologize. If that's too much, I will stop. I do apologize. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That 100% makes sense. I don't want Loki to be sleeping out in nowhere. Come on, finish it. Let's go. That's fair. There we go. So what's your secret? Come on, what's your secret? Come on, nap time. Tell me, come on, nap time. Do you tell me Neek's secret? Come on, tell me. You know you want to. Please, let me hear it. Come on. Okay, what is it? I'm so excited. That's fair. John? John instead of Gene? Why? Why? Get some meat. Oh, on accident. Okay, I thought you were like making fun of me somehow, and I'm just like, yeah, that's fair. It is better than Big Tasty. French. No, I'm not Jean. I refuse. No. I will not suffer the fame for this leshy. All right, it's time. J-Mac. No, that's not true either. Bye, Harlequin. Be good, be good, be good. We're coming up close to the end of stream. Oof. Yes. Ah, it's gonna be nice. What the heck? Chat, the game broke. Chat, the game broke. I mean, we're coming up on the end of stream anyway, so I guess that's, good time as any to end. So, huh. Yeah. Well, should we just hang out for a little while then? Yeah, because it wouldn't let me go past, and then I just went back, and weird. Okay. All right, yeah. Huh. All right, well, hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Whoop. Silence. Isn't it nice when it's a little quiet sometimes? We can just hang out here, spend some time here together, relax, have a lovely little time here. You know, it hasn't been very long that I've been here, doing stuff, being cool, hanging out with y'all. It has been, what, since July? How many months ago was July? July 7th, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, not even a full 4 months. I think 4 months. July 7th, wait, let me do math. July 7th, August 7th, September 7th, October 7th. Okay, almost 5 months, but not a full 5 months. No, I didn't just have my fingers up. What are you talking about? Who would do that? So weird. Anyways, started up with my return. I came back and, anyways, y'all are locked up. Ha 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 ha. Nerds. Look at you, nerds. Ha! Get wrecked, nerds. So goofy. Look how goofy you look in the cage. You know what we're gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? You wanna know what I'm gonna do? Guess, chat. Guess what we're gonna do? All I gotta do is find it first. And cage shaking time. Look at you getting shaked. Look at you getting shaked in your stupid cage. Y'all look so dumb. Goofies. Goofy. You like being in the cage. How dare you? How dare you like being in the cage? How could you? Wild. Yeah. Joke's on you. I have books in the cage. Do you? I have books. I'm going to grab a random book that I have laying next to me. What book is this? Wait, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, here we go. The Naked Face. Well, I mean, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you need to belong in a cage. And, I mean, look at you. Look at you right now. You think you don't belong in a cage? You think you don't belong in a cage? Really? Really? Okay, so a rundown on everything we did today. We got to hang out. We got to read some poetry. We played some games. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. No, Nix, I'm going to steal you and take your books, obviously. We hit 10,000 followers on TikTok, meaning that I can finally start making money through TikTok. And I can hopefully get sponsored soon. We're going to start doing live streams through TikTok as well as Twitch. TikTok will have less of a focus because I just can't do as much stuff there. The canvas stuff I have for TikTok is going to be a lot simpler. It's still going to be cool, though. Still going to be cool. And yeah, no, I'm not streaming for another hour nap time. I can't. I get so tired when I stream for so long. Oh, there's an ad right now. Give me a second. We're going to wait for the ad to finish. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Ba, ba, da, ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. Oh, we're good. You know, I get tired. Okay, so remember, age verification is going to be activated tonight on the Discord server, meaning if you have an iPhone, you have to verify and allow things. Hey, for the follow to join. We're going to start streaming on TikTok as well as Twitch, so get ready for some more new people, hopefully. My attention will be a little split, but it will always be focused here on Twitch because I just have better tools here to focus on it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be trying to get another monitor installed so I can kind of see even more of chat sometimes. But for now, this is going to have to do. And once we hit a 50 average for one whole month, you know what's going to happen. Don't you, chat? Don't you? We are going to fundraise. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well, my whole community is always my fave, but Twitch is going to always be easier, so I will always give you more focus. I will release content on TikTok first, but then Twitch is where I do my live streaming first. Okay. And with that, I apologize to everybody who just showed up, but it's lovely to meet you. I am going to have to call it here because my energy has run out from having to work all day, but tomorrow will be a little bit better. I promise. There you go. Evil laugh. Okay. Now I'm going to see if any of my friends are online. Any of the lovely, lovely streamers that I've been following recently. And then we will be doing other things. All right, we have... Oh, Porcelain Maid's live. All right. How many people we got here today? How many people we got here right now? Shit, quote me the number. Because I can't see it. 50? Heck yeah. All right, who's this? Oh, they're silent. Oh. I like her. All right, chat, don't make fun of her accent. Don't make fun of her accent. You ready? You ready? We're going to send you over here. We're going to go a little. We're going to go. Hiya, bunny. Boop, boop, boop. That's going to be the raid message if you don't have a sub. But if you do have a sub, we're going to do a... Nope. Nope. And here's the raid message. Thank you all for coming by. It's been such a lovely, lovely stream. I had such a great time with all of you. And don't forget, every day, twice a day, as long as I don't sleep. Or I don't oversleep. For now, bye, lovelies.